Hi, my name is Elsa Marie De Silva, and I'm the founder of Red Dot Foundation. So, about 11 years ago, there was a horrific incident where a young woman was gang raped on a bus in Delhi and she lost her life. She was left to die on the streets. At the time, I was working in the corporate sector. I had a long career in Indian aviation where I worked first with Jet Airways and then Kingfisher Airlines. And I remember this incident very clearly because it got everybody talking about the topic of sexual and gender based violence. I was emotionally triggered to remember my own experiences of being catcalled on the streets, being touched and groped on trains and buses, and being sexually harassed at the workplace. And along with me, many of my friends started sharing their own stories too. And this made me realize that there was a silence around this issue because none of us had spoken about it earlier. Nor did we make an official complaint, which meant that there was a data gap in official statistics. It did not reflect the true nature and size of the problem. And that's what led me to launch Safecity, a crowd map for sexual and gender based violence 10 days after the gang rape. It was an immediate reaction and an immediate response to something horrific that happened. So, what is Safe City? It is a tool where anyone can anonymously share their stories of being harassed verbally, non verbally, physically, digitally. And these incidents are completely anonymous, as in the reporting is anonymous. We ask people to share what happened to them, where it happened, the date, if they can remember, the time, if they know the approximate time. And these are then collated as location based trends, visualized on a map as hotspots. And the idea is to make visible what is currently invisible. It is to bridge the data gap that exists and to make people aware of what's happening in their neighborhoods. What have we done in the last 10 years? We have helped individuals understand uh, what they are going through is not their fault. They are not alone, and that it can be a healing and therapeutic process to start documenting it, but also they have actionable information that they can then use to mobilize their communities. All of us are part of several communities, whether at work, whether in our residential areas, or even our interest groups. And we can invite people to think of solutions and find, solidarity. We've had religious leaders step in and help uh, think of solutions, talk to men and boys, for example, and an influencer like that can have a huge influence on how people think and behave. But we can also engage education authorities to have safe colleges and safe school campuses. Um, we have engaged police to change their beat patrol timings. For example, this data is a unique data set that police don't have. And what is being reported on our site is often considered very trivial, too minor to go through the whole process for justice. And 90% of the survivors share that they do not um, you know want to go through the hassle. There's fear, there's shame, there's honor linked to these kind of experiences, but they want the system to change. So how do you do that, right? And so working with the police to identify the hotspots can help them in their decision making for resource deployment, for monitoring violence, for having proactive measures. We also work with city officials, mayors, and other government officials in building trust with communities and again responding to the needs in real time, whether it is more resources for survivors, whether advertising resources for survivors, or maybe education, and advocacy, so that people know what the laws are, what their rights are. This kind of violence is a global problem. It's not an India problem alone. 1 in 3 women around the world experience some form of it at least once in their lifetime. And so I'm very proud to say that today Safecity is the largest crowd map on the topic. We have data from 86 countries. We have partners in 20 countries. And these are where we have concentrated data sets and where we work with institutional partners for solutions. But we also have engaged 1.5 million citizens in Safer Cities programming. Most of our data comes from the in-person engagements or engagements to partners. So we have 250,000 people that have gone through workshops, training programs, advocacy campaigns, etc. I believe that a data set like Safecity, like the one you have on Safecity, is a very valuable data set. It's citizen generated. It is a unique set that the police and other officials don't have, and it can help in resource allocation, but also in just understanding the problem. And sometimes stories like these can help begin the dialogue in their communities. So what I've learned over the last few years is there's a great need for this kind of tool platform. Also, we don't talk about these issues. So engaging unlikely stakeholders like men and boys, or even difficult stakeholders like police, is easy when you have actionable data and you're speaking from a point of evidence. Thank you.